we're going to look at the ubiquitous right hand, also known as the Haymaker. It is everywhere. Take a look at any surveillance footage or people who've captured real fights on their camera phones. If you can't deal with a right hand, you can't defend yourself. It's that simple. The most difficult part of overcoming the Haymaker is your flinch reflex. So we want to start cultivating a flinch reflex that's going to help us and not hurt us. It's real simple. You're going to stand with your partner, and I'm going to slap at first something that'll cause a shock to his brain but not really hurt him, his shoulder. Later, when you get good at this, you can throw slaps to the head. Slaps are really important because you need to create some contact, some chaos, and even a little bit of pain. What happens in training is people want to look like they're punching, you know, like they're making a movie. So now, of course, they're scared to hit their opponent, their partner in this case, so they do this, they miss. It's really an unrealistic way to train, and it's not necessary. Later, if you get skillful, you want to take it to a higher level, you can put on boxing gloves and actually hit each other. But for low-tech training, it's really simple. I'm going to use an open hand, and I'm just going to slap his shoulder. Okay? As we get better, I can cuff his head, and he's going to be blocking. So the first thing we want to do is his shoulders have to come up. Like that. Yeah. And your chin comes down. That's it. That's the first step. You want to make sure that that is your flinch reflex, not doing this. So all he's going to do is cuff me on the shoulder. And I cultivate that motion. Sometimes he's going to throw the other hand. It's not really important. Just don't give a rhythm. Don't make it predictable. All right? Again, I get used to that. I'm keeping my eyes on my partner. I'm keeping my chin down and my shoulders up. Next phase, we start adding the shell. So he's going to throw a right hand. My chin still comes down. My shoulders still come up, but I'm protecting my head. I'm bringing my elbows in. Now, if I'm at a longer distance, you tend to shell up this way because only a straight punch can reach you. As I get closer, the likelihood that it's a roundhouse punch becomes more and more. So my arm is naturally going to start sliding to the back of my head and forming this wedge position. So instinctively, you want your hands to come up like this, because if he's throwing a straight punch, it's going to get stopped by your forearm. As I get closer to him, it's unlikely he can throw a straight punch, and I want my hand to slide here. So this is something you can drill in this manner. From farther out, I slap at him that way. As I get closer in, I cuff at him that way. But avoid blocking like we talked about. So when he throws a straight one at me, that's going to stop it. Keep your hand open and just slap at my face. That's it. He throws a roundhouse. That's the one. Sometimes he switches side. That's when my chin is down. That's all you got to do is get used to that chin down, shoulders up. After 2 or 3 repetitions of this, you'll get the idea. It'll become instinctive. Then we add the entry. If you do this slow, the first way to drill it is to take out the other parts of it, to realize that the bulk of this defense is based on getting from here to here, to get through that danger zone. Everything else is a way to make it safer. So again, the first part of the drill is he's going to go very slowly and just try and slap me on the ear. And I step in. He has to actually try and touch my head. And I step in. Other side sometimes. Okay, then I'm going to do it to him. It's a natural reflex, and that's exactly what's going to happen the first couple of times, is we tend to get stuck in one place and put out an arm. All day long we're using our arms. We're using our arms to start the car. We're using our arms to pick up a glass. We're using our arms to play sports. So it's natural to stick them out there. It's counterproductive if you're trying to stop a real world punch. So that's a good way. Your body will start to understand that by moving forward, you're going to avoid that blow. There you go. Don't even need the arms. Just step in. That's the first step. Just get chest to chest contact. There you go. Actually, the second step. So now we begin to combine these ideas. He can slap with either hand, and I just shell up, step in. Shell up, step in. I can use this clinch. I can use all the clinches we'll look at later, but none of them are going to function if I can't get through the danger zone. This distance, depending on his height, where his fist is most powerful. And the last thing I want to do is to stay in here and try to show him how good my boxing is or make a kung fu movie out of it. I need to get from here. Instead of the guy attacking me face to face, let's put him off at a little angle like this, somewhere in your 180-degree peripheral vision here. This happens all the time. I'm sitting here talking to his girlfriend at the bar. He takes offense, he's going to hit me from this angle. So anything that I can do at a slight angle, I should be able to do when someone is square to me. The opposite isn't true, however. So one way to drill this effectively, it's just to start doing it at funny angles. So I'm here talking, he decides to attack me. I see something out of the corner of my eye. I don't know specifically what kind of punch it is. I don't want to turn and try and pray and go. I want to cover the target area as effectively as I can, and I want to get as close to him as I can. Okay? In old style jiu-jitsu, we basically stood here and we did a thing called pray and go, where we wanted to make contact with his arms. At this angle though, it's unrealistic. I don't know which arm he's going to swing with. I don't know precisely where he is. So I want to make contact with his body before I worry about where his arms are. If I can feel my body against his, that means he's generally way too close to have any kind of effective striking. Covering myself up is just buying me time in case I'm late. So the punch comes, I'm here, I don't really see it. I just see a blur from the side. I'm going to wedge on one side of my head, and the other hand's going to come up here. Both hands here, and one slides there until I feel contact with him. Again, I'm in chest-to-chest contact with him. From here, I can begin my counter, because he's not going to be able to hit me with his other hand. He's going to have a hard time kneeing me, doing anything. So I'm getting inside the range of his arms, the danger zone. I'm going from here, or worse yet, here, where I'm actually creating the space that he needs to hit me, to here, where I'm inside of his arms. It's a common idea. Conceptually, it's really simple, but it needs to be drilled so it happens under stress.